How's it going, guys? If you don't know who I am, I'm Rob. I'm an analytics and automation software consultant. So this video is just going to be a quick how to build dashboards with Looker Studio and automate ingesting the data using Coupler. So if you're unfamiliar with Looker Studio, it's one of Google's free dashboarding tools. It's really intuitive and easy to use. There's a lot of, it's popular, so there's a lot of people using it, so it's easy enough to ask questions and find results on how to use it. There's also a lot of pre-made templates that'll let you, if you're, say you're using really popular data sources like Google Analytics, YouTube, whatever, you can use a lot of pre-made templates. You can get them from places like DataBlue, or you can just make them from scratch. It's pretty straightforward. Coupler is what to call it? Call it a data integration automation tool. There's probably a nicer way to say it, but that's what it does. It lets you link data from system to system. So in this case, this video is going to be about moving Google Analytics 4 and YouTube data into Google Sheets, and then visualizing that data in Looker. It's fairly cheap, and what it'll let you do is it'll say, hey, I want to get my web page data, and I want to get my channel view data, and that way I want to be able to run time series charts just so I can see the number of views by day for both the page and for the channel. So it's really easy to set up. So we're going to go into Coupler. What you're going to do is go into add an importer. So in this case, we're going to start off with Google Analytics, and you're going to select a destination. So in this case, we're going to use Google Sheets as a middle step. You could link it directly to Looker. I like adding it to Google Sheets. That way I can go back and run my own analysis of whatever I'm building the dashboard. Say, well, if I'm going to make this chart and I expect these results, let me actually manually compare it to the Excel sheet so I can figure out, all right, does it work? Or if I've got more granular questions, then I can just go back and forth in between the two. So this is how it's going to work. You're going to select the account. Continue, you'll pick whichever one has the data you want. I've got a few accounts. You'll pick a property. And you can dynamically set these start and end date. So it's got this 60 days and today as the default. So you can set it up where this, for me, I'm running this at 7 a.m. every day. That way I have access to fairly up-to-date data. You can change this to whatever you want. You can put in a hard date. So if you wanted to say January 1st, 2024, you can change it that way. You can click in here. You can set the date manually. Though for my case, for my purposes, I like having just the rolling data. So you can do the same down here. So we continue, and this is how you can get the data that you want. So there's a lot that's in here, and there's a lot more than I actually care about. So in this case, I'm only concerned with getting the views. What else can we get? So we have the views, total users, event counts. We want the date. So do month. Where is it? Pause and find it real quick. Oh, whoops. So I was looking, so they have it split out by metrics and dimensions. So if you're unfamiliar, a metric is basically a quantity. It's a quantity. So it'll be something you can like add up, like the number of views, etc., the number of new users. And the dimension is a qualitative thing. So it could be like the page name, your general domain, the country of the users. So we've already got the date down here. You can get more granular if you want. They have a lot of information. But like I said, this is about keeping it simple. So I'm going to continue. Going to skip over this for now. All right, you can add in transformations. I'm going to skip that for the purposes of this video. This is really about just getting the raw data out of Google Analytics and dumping it over Google Sheets. So we're going to skip this. So this is where you actually link your Google account, so the Google Sheets account. So I'm going to click select a file. So we're going to have the Google Analytics. Going to select the sheet. So just leave it as A1. The way you can set it up where it's just basically day over day, it'll automatically delete what was ever in there prior, and it will add new data. You can set it up so it's incremental, meaning it will just add more data to whatever your existing database is, but this is a simple example. So it's just wiping everything and adding a completely new data set. And you can also set up a schedule. So you can say automatic data refresh, and you can have it so it's run as often and whenever you'd like. So you can set this up so it can run every 15 minutes. You can run daily. For my purposes, I only care about looking at this once a day. But for the purpose of this example, of this demo video, we're not going to get into that. So save and close, and now we're going to run it. Shouldn't take very long because there's not a whole lot of data on this website. So I'm going to pause it real quick. Oh, don't even have to. All right, cool. So we have the data now. And if you want to go back and make edits to this later, you can just change the name to this here. So I'm just going to call this YouTube. And you can rerun it as often as you'd like. So say in the middle of the day you want to rerun this for whatever reason, you just click run and it'll repopulate the report. All right, so we're going to quickly do the same thing again for YouTube. Set up from scratch. And the process will be the same. So I'm going to just skip over that. Yeah, so you can see for YouTube, they make a lot available in terms of what you can get on the metrics and the dimension side. Cool. And now we have our YouTube data in here. So now I'm going to go into Looker Studio. We're just going to create a blank report. So go into here, and you're going to pick my data sources if you already have it configured, but since I don't, I'm going to click Google Sheets. Going to click coupler GA4 and use the first row as the headers. Headers is just the name of the field. So the names of the dimensions, the names of the metrics. All right, we're going to add it to the report. Cool. Now we have the same data in here. So this is account name, new users, total users, views. So this is the same as in here. Property, key events, blah, blah, blah. Yep. So it's just going to be a really simple chart. So it gives us, this is just a pivot table. So it'll take the number of record counts per the account name. I'm going to drop that. So you're going to change that to date. Change the dimension to date. And again, the dimensions are just the qualitative fields. So it's the account name. And I'm going to change this chart to a time series chart. And these record counts, so this is just the number of rows that appear. So that's not that useful for us. So what we're going to do is change it to engagement views. I ditch this because don't care. And now you can see the views by date for your YouTube channel. We're going to do the same thing again for to get, pardon, let's see. Not this was, sorry, this was the website, not the YouTube. So now we're going to add the YouTube data. So add data, Google Sheets. Now you can see down here we have, ooh, it's missing a lot of data. Oh, you know what? I grabbed the wrong sheet. So this is a useful thing to know. So if you want to edit one of your connections for a couple of reasons, like one, in my case, I just selected the wrong sheet, so it's not pulling in the data at all. But say you modify one of your sheets, say you add a new field in Coupler and you want to pull in more data. If you want that to be incorporated in your data connection, what you have to do is go back to Manage Added Data Sources. So we're going to pick this one, we're going to click Edit, and we're going to edit the connection. So I was using sheet 1 when I should have been using Video Daily Analytics. And I'm going to click Connect. And cool, now it's actually got the data that we want to see. So done, I'm going to close this. And now we're going to go through, let's see, what do we have? You can do search up here because I'm just looking for views. So we're going to do metrics views. So there's a bunch of different charts you can show. This, something like this can be really nice if you want like a high level, like, hey, how many views does this channel just have in the entirety of its history, or as far as back as your data goes. But that's not the type of chart we want. We want to see how the views change over time. So I'm going to go back, change this chart again to this. Going to resize it down here. The other thing that's cool is if you want to make sure these charts are aligned with, yep. There we go. So we have it spread out by day. So now we can see comparison of, how many website engagements are we getting up here? How many YouTube views are we getting down here? And because it's not clear what's going on, I'm just going to add a title. So we'll show title, YouTube views. Cool. So there's way more that you can do with this stuff. You can blend data. So if I wanted to see all this data on one chart, you could go into data blending. I'm not going to get into this video. Looker is a really powerful tool. There's a lot you can get into it, but this is just a quick and dirty how to actually set up some data migration automation. So if, say, for example, you're checking this stuff daily and you don't want to be manually exporting reports from both because it's a time sink and it's tedious, this is just a quick way to automate everything. So hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, guys.